So what is OpenAI? What is it? And then why is it important?
Yeah, so I guess OpenAI is a AI that provides different AI models we can use directly or use through their SaaS service. Some models they do release as open source for anyone to use, and some models you have to use.
So it's not just OpenAI that provides OpenAI applications. Other people can use the sort of open source core of it to generate specific applications.
Yeah, so certain parts of what OpenAI does is open source, and other parts are closed source. And of course, OpenAI has been a lot in the news because they are the ones that have released this ChatGPT 3 that everybody's talking about at the moment. That's where most people have heard word or name OpenAI.
And why is it important for somebody that is in the business of helping people tell stories on television?
So I mean, there are many different aspects. AI is this, it's a tool to solve different kinds of problems, right? Like a computer. One of the limitations of AI is accuracy, right? You always need to have a human process the output from the AI to check it for accuracy. So usually you have to find places where you use it, where false positives and false negatives are acceptable. One area that we are heavily investing in terms of AI at nxtedition is to help the user find things. There's two areas there. One is to grab relevant information from material and make it indexable. So there, for example, it could be we transcribe the audio, and transcribing the audio makes the materials searchable through text. And it doesn't matter so much if it mishears a word or a word or two is missing. It still provides you something to search against. So if you have a long interview with a certain person, they will still mention cars and engines in that transcription, and that means you can find clips that contain those kind of things. So that's the first part with making things, indexing things and making it searchable. The next part is how to search for things. Like in Google, you type a text string, and Google somehow figures out what you're actually searching for. A lot of search engines, for example, if you want to, even in Google, you have to go to advanced search, and then you get a lot of different fields you have to enter. So a typical example would be, okay, I want to search for all media that is more than 1 hour and is progressive. And then you need to go into those kind of advanced tool and go, okay, duration bigger than 60 unit hours, and field order needs to be upper field or lower field. So it doesn't become, very friendly, user-friendly for people that don't know the search domain language, right? And what we want actually to search is, the human domain language.
Yeah.
I just want to type in a search field, give me all videos that are longer than 30 minutes and contain progressive material. Yeah. And then the search engine should figure out automatically what the user actually means there. And that's where AI that has been trained for this is very useful. We are actually looking at this to add it in nxtedition version 21 or 22, that we can convert this human language query into a technical query. So a journalist just goes in, doesn't need to know anything. First time they're using Next, they type in the search field, and then they find stuff that they are looking for. So that's one part of AI, allowing the user to find things, both through enhancing the search querying capabilities and enhancing the search indexing capabilities. Yeah. That's one part of AI, and we are heavily invested in this. The other part is, helping journalists. So a typical example of this would be you upload a clip. Actually, I had an example of this. We had an internal demo for this, and I found a clip that had a nonsense title, A2625 BC, and no description. And I have no idea what this video is about. And I don't want to look through the entire hour, so I can give it a title and a description. Yeah. So you run it through an AI to transcribe it. And then you can add, for example, an AI to, okay, give me a summary. Based on this transcript, give me a summary what this is about of 200 characters. And then it actually provides you with a quite good summary and also a good title. So we can use this if a journalist has been out and done different interviews out on the city about different topics. Then they just, ingest into the system. And then the journalist, etc., can already get a title and a description of what the journalist has been doing without the journalist having to do, the post-processing work and adding, both more hours and delay to making his ingested material usable for the production.
I mean, that's one of the big issues, isn't it? That journalists get very excited by the story they're working on, but never want to get involved in setting up the archive afterwards. Yeah. They never want to write the metadata.
Exactly. And that is a huge problem in general. We have clients that have, 10,000 hours of material, but they can't find anything in it.
Yeah.
And then it's, instead of being a positive revenue, it becomes a negative cost because it's just sitting there taking cost. So another problem, of course, with these closed source AIs is they are usually accessible as cloud services. And that also provides you, one, it creates a delay, and two, you have to often pre-process the material. So if, for example, I'm going to send a video to get the transcription, then I first have to transcode the video into audio. Then I have to upload it, pay them for it. Yeah. And I don't have any scalability there. So I don't know how quick it's going to go or how many clips I can send, and then wait for the result. And this is even worse with videos, label detection or face detection or those kind of things. Yeah. You have to prepare the material, send the material, and then get it back, plus paying a lot of money. So, for example, using OpenAI have released something they call Whisper, which is an open source transcribe AI model. And that is something we can deploy on our own servers and run infinite amount of material at no extra cost other than the initial buying and license and running costs. Then it becomes feasible to actually transcribe your entire 50,000 hour archive and make it searchable. While if you use a SaaS provider, I think you're probably going to be fine paying for transcription of any specific video, but you're not going to transcribe your entire archive.
And presumably, you can just set this thing up to run in the background. So you can say, whenever you're not doing anything else, have a look through the archive and see what we've got.
And, if it takes a week or if it takes 3 months, it doesn't really matter.
No, it's better than not knowing it ever.
So you're bringing value to your content.